So Reitannite, it's Reitanna Seishin here. I'm working on some stuff. So this isn't a live stream. I'm not sure because Twitch, I believe, is video game exclusive. I don't think you can do things like this on Twitch, even though it technically has to do with video games. Anyway, so I'm making some rat ears and a tail. I just made some hamster ears and a tail. Now note that these are edited meshes, not my complete original meshes, so nor are they my textures, so I'm pretty sure I have no right to share them. So here are the hamster ears. I did have to, they came off of the accessory hamster I have, if you guys have ever seen me click the hamster that sits on the shoulder. I reshaped them a little bit. I smoothed out the textures. The corners are kind of sharp, but I smoothed out the vertices too, so. But other than that, like, I mean, you're not gonna be all like, oh my god, hello, ears! So, I actually think they look pretty cute. I had to round them and make them, a little less realistic than an actual hamster's, just to solidify the cute factor. Now, this is the tail. I made it kind of further out because of some skirts, pants, etc. I had to keep telling myself that it didn't look like a penis. So, but I mean, you can tell that it's got a little bit of fur and, it doesn't have any lines or anything. So, I mean, anything flesh colored and phallic and round in a way can look like a penis. So, yeah, so those are the hamster ears and tail. And I am working on the rat ears. I'm actually working on the rat tail right now. So, hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime girl. Come on! The reason why I'm doing this video and not streaming is because I was like, oh, well, I gotta work on this. But it's another day where I can't post a video. It's another day where I can't stream, so what I'm doing is, this is somebody else's mesh, obviously. I'm not working with this mesh. I will be replacing that mesh because it had the same number of cuts. So this is what I have so far. I'm working from, what is your name? Note again? The cattail. So I just got done reshaping the entire thing to look ratish. So I had to do a lot of scaling and a lot of placement, had to knife some things because they were like missing edges and stuff. So now what we're doing is we're just making it so it goes and then this is the hamster ear that I will be crafting into a rat ear, and then I'll have to go about doing textures again. So let's get to work. Okay, so I've already got the placement right here good. It's on the tailbone. Actually, it could probably be a little lower. I mean, I meant to say higher. I don't know why I said lower. I meant to say higher. And a little over here. I mean, obviously it's gonna clip into the bum, but there's not much you can do about that. I think we could make this higher. Now, this is, it's not really a tutorial video. It's a oh, maybe not higher. It's a, this is what I'm doing video. So, I mean, if you expect like exciting awesomeness, you're not gonna get it, because this is a I'm doing stuff video. So, if you want to stick around for a little while, stick around for a little while. Otherwise, just click away. means no difference to me. As long as some people find it interesting. Meh. And apparently some people do find it interesting, so. It might be too much. Okay, just bring it down a little. The one problem I have with curving things is not doing it enough. So it will still probably look like it's sticking up. But we'll see what happens. Oh, remember the Invader Zim pack that I was working on some time ago? I'm gonna have to completely reconstruct it. I had somebody trying to help me on Mod The Sims, and they were like, there's really nothing you can do, you've got to start over. And the solution they came up with is one that I should have been duh anyway, but I mean, I was a, novice, still sort of am. I'm figuring it out very slowly. I should have made the pack out of 3 pieces instead of molding from 1 piece. So, I mean, now that I'm kind of used to the program, I don't think it's going to be that difficult. What might be difficult is keeping this tail short enough. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. I'm thinking... Hang on. Let's see. I'm gonna make that even with that again because I think that this should be over here, a little higher, maybe rotated a little more. Mop, mop. It's all about trial and error. And I'm also thinking I had a dream last night that was like ridiculously lucid. I don't remember everything that happened in the dream, but it was pretty crazy lucid. I have a lot of dreams where my teeth are falling out, which if you've ever had dreams where your teeth are falling out or crumbling, those dreams mean insecurity, and I am probably the most insecure person I know. So then again, I don't know very many people, but still, Reitanna mumble, mumble, mumble. We probably didn't hear a single word you just mumbled. That's okay. I have no problem with that. Anyway, so if the multiverse theory is correct, I'm in a universe where my teeth just won't stay in my mouth. I don't know what's wrong with them, but they keep falling out. And because I'm in a dream, it feels like... I'll come up here and fix that in a moment after I'm done with the rest of the tale. It feels like it's real. It feels like I'm not dreaming, and that's how a lot of my dreams feel. It's surreal. Anyway, oopsies. So, like, when I feel a loose tooth or something, I'm like, oh no, not another one, and I'm just like, stay in my mouth. And I for some reason, I'm having problems going to the dentist. Like, it's not that I'm afraid to go to the dentist, because I'm not afraid of going to the dentist. It's that I can't get an appointment, or I can't afford it or something, and it's extremely frustrating. And apparently Mike has been keeping all of my teeth, and I have a lot of sometimes they come out in pieces, and like I'm sitting there with like a mouthful of pieces of teeth, and I'm like like you would with some crackers, and they're just like flying out of my mouth, and I'm like, oh my god. And it doesn't hurt either. It's just like, what the hell? So last night, I think it was a bottom tooth far. Why do I keep doing that? On the left, in the very back. And it was wiggling, and I was like, oh, fuck this. And I just reached in there and I yanked it out. And I'm like, hey, Mike, we got another one. And he's like, and so, and then after that one came out, a bunch of others came out, and I had a little pile in my hand, and I handed them to him, and I said, don't worry, this is probably a dream, because this happens a lot in my dreams. And lo and behold, even though the entire thing looked so ridiculously realistic, it was indeed a dream, and all of my teeth, save for the ones that I've actually had pulled, are in my mouth. So, yeah. Like, dreams. Seriously, man. Crazy. I know I'm gonna have to rotate this much more. Like I said, it's a trial and error thing. I don't know when it started, but a lot of times, unless something really, really bizarre is happening, it's really, really hard for my conscious to realize that it's a dream, because it looks so realistic. And it doesn't matter if I haven't seen the person in my dream for like ever. It doesn't matter if I haven't been to a certain place for like ever. It doesn't matter if I've never been to a place at all. It's so realistic that I just act like it's normal. And it's just like, oh, hoo-dee-doo-dee-doo. So this is happening, doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. And, you know, something bad happens, I'm like, oh, shit. You know, this is actually going to affect me in real life. So I'm like, that was the only time that I didn't panic about my teeth falling out and recognized the fact that I'm possibly dreaming. So that was really cool. I don't know, I have a lot of lucid dreams. My favorite one was the one I recorded on my channel with the guys supposedly hurting my rats, and I had to check on them, and there were 4 rats in the cage. I'm like, those 2 are dead. What did I say? I don't remember. I don't remember exactly what I said, but it ended with, there's 4 in the cage. This is a dream. You're not real. Oh man, if anybody with a memory can actually remember what I said, if you've listened to that dream, please quoteth it. Oops, I meant B. Reitanna, have you gotten sick yet? No! It's bugging the crap out of me. Why'd you bring that up? 'Cause we have a feeling that you have a sore throat. And the only reason why we know that is because it's actually you talking, Reitanna. We're not actually talking to you. Oh, Michael does the same exact thing. What's wrong with you? Are you delusional? You're delusional. Okay, so at the moment, I'm gonna go ahead and just move it slightly, because this is a definite nope. And I don't know how I'm gonna fix the nope. I knew I should have worked from the bottom up. Okay, new plan. It is not over yet. It is not over till I say so. I'm gonna make it long because usually a rat's tail is about the length of its body. So. And what if I say they're kind of droopy? They only flip up if they tense the muscles in them, which their tails are actually really strong, but when they're relaxed, they just go every which way, and I don't even think they're really aware of their tails because because when you touch them, the rat's all like, well, what's touching me? Like I feel something touching me, but I can't even tell what's touching me or where it's touching me. What's going on? Or if it gets in the way, they look at it and they move it like it's something in their cage. And the best part is when it's hanging out of the cage and you take it and you stick it back in the cage and they try to bite at it as if it's, again, a toy. And then when they get it, they kind of chase it for a little bit. I'm just like, do you guys know you have a tail? Oh my god, it's so funny. I don't know if all rats do that or if maybe my rats are just doofuses. So, yeah. Animals are cute. Rat people. Half rats. My name is Yanni McGee. What's yours? Introduce yourselves in the comment section. Have fun. Uh-huh. I see a problem here that could fix a lot. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Over the seas, let's go, men. We're shoving right off again. Nobody knows where or when. We're shoving right off again. A lot of people who come across my channel think I'm a little, like, 12-year-old boy. And I don't know if that's just my childishness or if it's the fact that there are so many prepubescent boys on the site, you know, and girls, but, you know, as gamers or, you know, stuff, usually boys. I'm not being sexist or anything. So, but, it's like, that's what you expect when you hear a high voice. And my voice is actually considerably low, or can be considerably low for a female's, because I'm a natural alto. I'm seeing more problems around here, but I need to get the initial shape so that everything is placed properly before I feel. Why do I keep doing that? So they're like, you know, this kid, blah, 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 stupid kid. And I'm like, no, I'm 26 years old. You know, anybody's ready to bash anything that, you know, they don't like instead of just moving on with their lives. And whether or not that's me or somebody else, it's like, you know, do your research or whatever, because, I mean, are you surprised that women play video games? Because it's not a new thing, you know. I mean, it's not a feminazi thing where I'm like, women play video games too. Me. It's well, it's simple and it really shouldn't even be questioned anymore because of the fact that it's so common. It doesn't bug me, that's not bugging me, it's totally not bugging me. It's not bugging me. Okay. So I'm always surprised when somebody, or even, you know, when they don't leave an unkind comment, when they're all like, he blah 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 blah, and I'm like, who's he? And I'm like, you know, and the last one I got, I did not get a response when I asked who's he. But I don't even know if they were talking about me in the video, But, you know, I still want to know who he is. Stop playing the pronoun game, guys. Serious law. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know who you're talking about. Friggin' who's on first? I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe I do sound like a little 12-year-old boy. Especially when my throat is sore. So my voice cracks and it sounds like I'm hitting puberty. Okay. God damn it! I keep pressing the V. If I don't look at the keyboard, I keep pressing the V. Because I'm like trying to press the B and it's like right there. Okay. I can do it from here, I think. Let's see. I can do something. I can do something. Because it still needs to curve. Like that. To connect it to the frickin' tailbone. And I have a problem. It's called being a perfectionist. Like, you have no idea how long I sat there on that hamster tail trying to make the seam look seamless when it's underneath the hamster tail and it's so small and no one else can see it. Unless you look! Why, Reitanna? Eventually I was like, I don't care. Because I shouldn't care. It's the smallest thing that no one's gonna see. But I notice. So it's like, ah! Do the same thing with my skin. My skin is scabby again. I was doing so well. You guys, I was doing so well. And then, oh, I see this little thing. I'm just gonna get this little thing. And then it becomes I've been in here for an hour and a half, and now I'm covered in scars. Hooray! Reitanna is good. Reitanna good at stuff. Reitanna, you sure are helping your insecurity issues by picking at your skin. Yes, I know. I wish I could stop. I really do. I've tried to reach out to other people with dermatillomania. I don't get responses. And it's very frustrating. I'm thinking here that this actually needs to be brought up. Okay. See, the curve is a little off. It's too sharp. It's unnatural. There's a rumor. There's a rumor, and I'm hoping it's true, that they might bring Hannibal back for season 4. Do you know what that means? It means they didn't, spoiler alert, it means they didn't die when they fell off the cliff! They will live forever, and they will be murder husbands, and they will murder forever. Together, because a family that murders together stays together. But god damn it, I wish Abigail Hobbs wasn't actually dead, because they could have been both of her fathers, like they said in the beginning of the series, and I'm just like, no, Hannibal, why did you do that? Will wasn't gonna turn you in! He wanted to make sure you were gone! I'm sorry if I'm actually spoiling things for anybody who has not seen the show yet. But that's why I said spoiler alert, so I don't know, click somewhere else in the video or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but it doesn't really matter because I'm just being stupid. I get overexcited about things that I love. It's like, I believe I mentioned this in a video before, how if I see something in a store that I like, I'll go, ooh! And I have to touch it. Even if I'm not gonna buy it, I have to touch it. You don't understand, I have to touch it. Because, especially if it's clothing, because how do I know that I'm gonna want it? Usually if I touch it, it's, I can determine if it's something that I can live without. The way I shop, especially at malls, because malls are ridiculously expensive and unfairly expensive, if I don't absolutely, if I can't live without it, then I buy it. But if I totally can, or if I can make it, even if I'm too lazy to make it, then, you know, I'll just leave it be. I'm having issues. Issues I am having. And I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it has something to do with the width on the... Oh. Hey! Thank you. When I click something, okay? You click on it. It's too fat. It is just too fat on the up here. Reitanna, you're so dumb. Who was that? That's not your usual voice. How dare you call me dumb? No, I do need to move it just a little. A little goes a long way. It's hot. It's August. And it's still hot. Why? I want to respect Mother Nature and everything, but I have a feeling that she's looping all the humans in together instead of being all like, well, some of you aren't that bad, because that's what Mother Nature sounds like. I don't know, like, yeah, get rid of us, but, you know, can you make it, like, a little less painful and stuff? It's kind of painful, Mother. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not afraid of death, I'm just afraid of a painful death. Okay, so if I straighten this out... I didn't mean to do that, I meant to do that. Okay. Because this is obvious law to vertically fat on the z-axis. Severus Snape Potter. I totally sound like the late Alan Rickman, God rest his soul. Oh my god. I always said, the moment we lose Adam West, the world will end, and we lost Adam West. Well, technically we're still here, but still, oh my god. It's like, it seemed like he was like the person who would live forever. I mean, I know he's not, but he's just got such a unique voice that it's like he's just one of those guys where you think will be around forever. Apparently, he stayed around quite some time to at least, you know, finish up his, some roles in Family Guy. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. But I'm like, you know, how far back was this all recorded, you know? Damn it! I don't know, it's just sad. It's like, from now on, anytime you hear his voice, you're just gonna be all like, well, I'm just gonna be like, oh, Adam. Let's see, if that's what I should do instead. I'm trying to work with the fact that the tail is actually rounded over here. I've had Stuck in the Drive-Thru by Weird Al Yankovic stuck in my head. Stuck in my head for days. Well, that there be one of my problems. I tell you what. I think I didn't cut this because I thought I wouldn't need it But I need it. I need it! Any others? Nope, 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 nope. Okay. So, yeah, that's like totally causing some morph issues there. Let me just fix it. And in order to do it properly, I need to raise. These are the things that I always struggle with. But I'm okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world yet. Speaking of Weird Al, if anybody watches Stephen Colbert, the Weird Al did a funny little folk song about how we're trying to just convince North Korea to not bomb us. And it's really scary, and I am scared. It's like one of those things where, you know, you've watched a lot of war documentaries in school and stuff, and you know, and Mike and I finished what's up of The Man in the High Castle, and you sit there and you imagine in your lifetime planes just zooming over your town, your city, whatever, and, you know, and then you see like a bomb plane and you're just like, you know, holy shit, we're gonna die. And then you realize that you don't have any bomb shelters because we weren't preparing for this, because America is never gonna get bombed because no one threatens America. America is the greatest. Everybody sing the America song. Da 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 da, because we don't remember anything, because we're always drunk. Because we're the frats. We're the frats of, we're the youngest, so we're like a fraternity, bra. Broski. Bralongo ding dong. Yes. That is something that happened. I don't know. I could say I don't care, but I really care. You know, especially since I'm like... I mean, I know it's not really feasible, because in order for the human race to be wiped out, the planet would need to start over, meaning the animals who do not deserve it would also be wiped out. And that's sad, because it's like they deserve to be here. So if there's anything that could take us out without taking them with us, I would like that. Nuclear bombs are not that thing. Nuclear bombs will definitely hurt everyone. Okay. This... Anna. Womp womp. Something like that. I don't know, maybe this one actually does need to be thicker. People don't agree on my views. That's not entirely true. Quite a lot of people don't agree with my views. That's okay. Mike always says, You know, and whenever I say, if I ruled the world, he's like, I'm glad you don't rule the world because you would be a really scary dictator. I'm like, I wouldn't be a dictator. I would want everybody to live in peace and, you know, to be happy and have none of this, you know, any more crime, no, you know, all of that, and everybody who who doesn't follow the laws, you know, gets exterminated. That's not a dictator, is it? No, that can't be a dictator. FYI, guys, that's a dictator. But thankfully, I do not have that power. Well, thankfully for, I guess, the people who don't want me in that kind of power, but to me, I feel like I definitely should have that power, but I don't. I am useless. I am nothing. And I am proving it with the massacre of this rat tail. Reitanna looks fine. It's not perfect. Okay, so I need to make sure that at least this part, most of it, is engulfed in her skin. I mean, let's face it. It's going to fall over her butt crack. It's a tail. Now, let's go to the left again. Is that falling decently naturally? I feel like the scaling is off up here. This actually might fix some stuff. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I also had a dream. Damn it, why did I do that? That I found this doll that sort of looked like Bulma from Dragon Ball Z, but I couldn't actually tell if it was Bulma or not because it was handmade. But I saw Vegeta. Vegeta's always in my dreams. And I was like, because I saw the Capsule Corp logo on the back of the doll's jacket, and I was like, does this belong to Bulma? And he's like, I've been looking everywhere for that. And I'm like, can you give me a hug as a reward? And he's like, no. And I hug him anyway. I have odd dreams where I am romantically involved with Vegeta. It's nice. Even though I ship him with Goku, I never ship myself with a fictional character. That makes no sense. Oopsie doopsie. But when I have dreams of it, you know, I can't really control that. Along with... Hang on. Along with all the dreams I have of Draco freaking Malfoy. And me. Even though I ship him with Harry. My dreams are weird. Reitanna, all dreams are weird. I know. I'm not saying they're not. You know, I thought that once all of the Paxil was out of my system, when I quit it, a year or two ago, that I would stop shaking. Since it was because of that I was shaking. But no, I must have actually done some damage to my nervous system, because I am still shaking and I am still twitching. And it's weird, the later it gets, the more I shake and the more often I twitch. And I only start to notice it when I'm working like this and I don't have a steady hand and I'm like, stay still! But, oh, that hurt my throat. And now we get to a point where it probably should actually be... Well, hang on. I am still on the left, right? Yes, I am. Okay. That looks acceptable. So. Boop. If I rotate it just a little bit. By the way, if you're old enough to watch, mature shows, and you have Netflix, I believe it's... No, I think it's on Amazon. I don't know. I highly recommend The Man in the High Castle. It's cool! It's awesome! It's... I'm not gonna say anything about it, it's just cool. It's sad and horrifying in many different ways, of which I am not used to, but it's still good. And we still don't have a renewed date on it yet. And we also don't have a renewed date on a series of unfortunate events, but we do have a renewed date on Stranger Things. And I believe that comes back in October. That's a freaking good show. All of them are good shows. I especially appreciate the series of unfortunate events show because of the fact that I read the books like crazy when I was a kid. I read like the first 3 in one day, that kind of thing. I'm not kidding. I need to move this. I need to slide it. That's what I need to do. Maybe not. Maybe I can get away with doing this. What I need to do is fix... Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hide everything. Hide everything except for these 2 whatevers. And I was highly disappointed with the series of unfortunate events movie because they tried to cram the first 3 books English, into a single movie. And, the show has more leeway than that. It doesn't have to do that. It might be easier... No. Wait. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I have problems if I do that. Okay. Since this doesn't matter... No, yeah, it kinda does. No, it doesn't. None of these matter. But I have a feeling I'm gonna run into problems if I delete them. I want to delete them and then extend these and bring it into the center. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push these out, bring them up, and hide them. That way I can focus solely on these stupid things. Okay, so that one seems to be in a good spot. Now it's just a matter of trying to make them all even. I should do this from the back. Because those should also be over. Nah. I was talking about the series of unfortunate events. Did I finish that thought point? I don't know. Well, there is one thing that I like about the TV show versus the movie. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things to like versus the movie, but the fact that they are dressed so colorfully, I don't know. Yes, I do know, but I just don't know how to speak. Anyway, but their surroundings are, dark and unfortunate looking. Title drop. Um, so, it gives the perspective of the viewer that these kids are usually very happy and had pretty damn good lives. But everything else around them sucks, and they've been roped into it by nothing but chance and bad people. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was very, very creative, and it's makes it look kind of surreal. And what is his name? Neil Patrick Harrison, I believe is his name. I was afraid he wasn't going to do very well as Count Olaf because, let's face it, Jim Carrey did a great Count Olaf. That's really the one thing that I liked about the movie. But he's killing it, and I'm just like, yes, dude. I mean, I know you can act, but yes. I, however, did not know he could sing. I also didn't know that he was gay. So I learned a lot of this stuff from Michael while, making certain comments like, man, he can sing, and wow, he can walk in those heels like a champ. So I don't know if that's because he's gay. Not every gay guy knows how to walk in heels. But I don't think he cross dresses, but I don't know. Maybe he's played a female character before. I don't know. Or maybe he just practiced a lot for this specific role. I don't know, but he can walk in heels better than most women can. I could never walk in thin-heeled high heels. I think the thinnest, I've tried like 2-inch heels. I've never tried stilettos because I don't want to break my already damaged ankle. I might have to, I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway. But, is that really? Yes, it is. I don't know, this looks off. Okay. Back. I've had my share of really rude doctors. Have you ever had a really rude doctor? When I was 14, I've probably told this story before, I tore my tendon because I was being stupid. You see, we usually met in the gym, no, not in the gym. The gym was different. The wrestling room. But, we were co-ed, but we weren't actually, taking wrestling or anything like that. I'm pretty sure girls weren't allowed on the wrestling team. Not that I'd want to. If I learned how to pro wrestle, that'd be cool, but that ain't to happen, and so I didn't mean to do that. So there were pull-up bars next to some wall pads, and my friends, they were pretty high up. My friends were jumping up and trying to grab it, and hanging off of it, and stupid me jumps up and forgets to grab it with the other hand. So I slip, and I land gracefully on my ankle, on my right ankle, and it hurts. It hurts so bad. It hurts so pain. So I'm like, holy crap, I shouldn't have done that. But I didn't know how bad it was. I didn't know how badly I should not have done that. I refused to go to the nurse. Why? Because I was embarrassed of having crutches. And I didn't think I needed, for one, I didn't think I needed them. But I didn't want people to see me having crutches, even though it's, normal for people to have crutches when they're hurt. It's not something that you should be afraid of being made fun of. But I was made fun of for everything. Normal things. So I was like, I'm not getting crutches. Oh, do I regret not having the crutches, because it was extremely hard for me to get around. luckily I wasn't wearing high-heeled boots or anything that day. But when I got home, I could not walk. And luckily it was before it was a Wednesday. I do remember that. Long-term memory is decent. But I believe it was a day before some sort of vacation. Was it fall? I don't remember. It was too cold. It was decent weather, so it might have been fall or spring. It starts to get kind of hot in the fall. Maybe between. So I was basically crawling on the floor when I got home. And I took off my shoes and stuff. And I saw that my entire ankle and some parts of my foot were purple and swollen. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh my god. Holy fuck. So, yeah, I wasn't sure what I did to it. And I was like, I couldn't have broken my ankle. Because when you break a bone, or whether or not you have a high pain tolerance, at the time I had a really low pain tolerance, usually when you break a bone, you throw up. Because the pain is just that shocking. I'm gonna see just how horribly I messed this up. Womp. Hey, not too bad, actually. So anyway. So, I don't remember if I went to a doctor right away, but I know I showed my grandma and I explained to her what happened. So I think we set up some doctor's appointments and stuff, and of course I had an an X-ray taken, and the doctor didn't find anything wrong with the bone, and he said, you must have just sprained your ankle, and maybe you wouldn't have so much pain, okay, if you didn't walk on high heels all the time. And I'm like, I kind of just glared at him at the time because I was in my goth phase, but I should have been rude. There are so many times in my life where I regret not being rude. And I'm like, this didn't happen because of some stupid high heels. And yes, there's something wrong. I still can't walk on it, even after the swelling went away. So, the fact that I was still complaining about it, we got referred to another doctor who also took an X-ray, but instead of just assuming that I was faking because I was a little goth teenager who apparently, is some kind of anarchist, even though, I've always have been one to follow rules and stuff, they had the sense to say that, well, if a bone's not showing up on the X-ray, most likely you tore your tendon, and the only way to figure that out is to put ink to inject ink in your ankle and take an X-ray, and that'll make the tendon show up or whatever. But of course, I was, not very tolerant to pain, so I wasn't having that. God damn it! I could do it now, but I was on my grandmother's insurance at the time. I don't know if my insurance would cover something like that. It still hurts. Luckily, I'm sitting on my ass most of the day, but it still does hurt every so often, even if I'm just sitting here. And I have an ankle brace that I'll put on if I think I'm going to be doing quite a bit of walking. And it helps give my ankles extra support. Of course, it doesn't fix it, but the extra support is helpful. But, Object. I think I need to raise the bottom part a little more so it looks less like it's in your butt. Sorry, guys. Well, first of all, I need to move you a little bit because you are just not proper. I also had a really rude dentist that I wish I could, get in the face of now. Because you know how it's really, really difficult to floss, especially the back of your mouth? And you try and you try and you try, and I had all of my teeth. I didn't have to get my wisdom teeth removed, and I still have my wisdom teeth on my right side. But recently I had to get the ones on my left side taken because they were causing problems. So, it's really hard to reach back there. And with me, my teeth, I don't know if you could tell from my videos, but my teeth are enormous. So you can imagine how difficult it is for me to floss. And so, I went for a cleaning and stuff, and he accused me of not flossing. And I was like, dude, yes, I do. And he's like, I'm a dentist, you can't fool me, blah, 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 blah. And, and then, just recently, we found out that there's no supporting evidence of flossing actually helping anything. Meaning, you're not required to floss anymore. And I just want to go up to him and be like, you son of a bitch, you were rude to me, and now I'm going to spit in your fucking face. And I am allowed to do that because you were rude. Idiot. It's like, seriously, I'm a little teenager. Just because I have dark makeup doesn't mean I'm a freaking, just... Come on, man. It's like because of my lip piercing, and people say I look younger than I actually am, which can be a compliment, but not when people at the mall think you're a teenager, and since you have a pierced lip, or during the times where I had colored hair, and you're looking around a store, they come up to you with a certain facial expression and a certain tone of voice that says, "Can I help you?" But in their mind, they're thinking, "Are you stealing something?" And I'm just like, "No, we're fine. Thanks." I'm just like, dude, I could tell that you suspected me of stealing something. And I don't. I don't do that. I've never shoplifted anything from any store. Not even from the Exxon in Mullen, where I used to get all of my candy and my Tootsie Rolls and my flavored Tootsie Rolls, because the Tootsie Rolls were a penny each. And I liked those Tootsie Rolls. I still like those Tootsie Rolls, but I don't think that Exxon is there, and I don't know where you can get any candy for a penny. So we used to just pick up a handful of this stuff and drop it on the counter, and the cashiers would just estimate how many there are and just be like $5 or whatever, because we were kids, and we used to get our Pokemon cards there too. What was the point of that? Oh, the point was that Tootsie Rolls were not expensive, and they probably wouldn't miss one if it was gone, But I never took any candy. I never took any Pokemon cards. I've never taken anything. I think the only time I've ever stolen from somebody was my mother, who, well, let's just say has, quote-unquote, borrowed a lot of money from me, money that I earned, from, doing chores at my grandma's and getting an allowance from her. She broke into my diary and stole like $60 from me. And it took me a long time to get that $60, and she never returned it. So, I was doing, my school was doing a fundraiser. Hang on. How does that look? Reitanna, we can't answer you. I'm kind of talking to myself right now. I think it could actually be a little lower. That looks a little too high for the tailbone. So my school was doing a fundraiser, and it's one of those things where there are rewards for how many magazines you sell, and I didn't think I was gonna get enough magazines to stand in the money tornado, which I'm sitting here like, why don't you use the money from the prizes to fund whatever we're trying to work for? Duh. um, but I wanted the little prizes. The little prizes were these little fluffy dude things. They were made out of little puffballs, and I honestly could probably make them. No, I could definitely make them. But there were like 3 of them, and I had 2, and I was like, I need the last one. I need it. I just need one more magazine. So I took the money for said magazine, and I don't regret it because she owed me money. She still owes me money. She owes me a lot of money. And she was also a horrible person. But that was the only time I knowingly stole something. If it was on accident, like if I accidentally ate something in the fridge that was somebody else's and they say, that was mine, I'm like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I'll get you another one. So, yep. Well, I've always been a good kid, so, just because I look a little unorthodox according to society, I look like a rebel. Oh my god, I stick it to the fucking man. Oh my god, you can't even understand me. I'm just so misunderstood. You don't know what it's like to be different, but, it's like, I'm a good person, alright? Do I have to show you my report card? The fact that I fail PE is a sure sign that I'm good at the academic side. Damn it. I want to actually play The Sims today. It's already almost 9 o'clock. The reason why I'm doing this now is because I decided to make sim versions of... I shook. I twitched. Sim versions of the rats that I've had since I've lived in this apartment. And since there's 6 of them, that's perfect since you can have 8 Sims in the household. I'm going to rotate this a little bit. If you're wondering what that sound was, it was saliva going through my gigantic front teeth. Oh, if I didn't laugh at myself, I'd be dead by now. Well, there's a lot of things that would cause my by now death, but that's okay. You gotta laugh at yourself. You gotta, because that's a sure sign that you have accepted many of your imperfections, and it makes it so that you're not so bothered by them. And yet there are still a lot of imperfections that I am definitely self-conscious of. And that just goes with being insecure. I think it's because they're things that I should be able to control, like the hair pulling, the skin picking, all the stuff like that. They're things that would, if I didn't do it, they would help my insecurities because I would actually feel better about myself, being pretty, because I was pretty once. I was so pretty. I was so pretty. And it's just like, I look at old pictures of myself, when you're a teenager, you take, selfies or whatever. Well, we took selfies before selfie was a word. I look at these old pictures of me, and, because some of them, the more artistic and cool looking ones are on my screensaver. I have a bunch of, art on my screensaver. And picture slideshow. Is that too much? Something's bothering me about this. And I feel sad because I'm just like, look at me. I was so pretty. I mean, I've had trichotillomania and dermatillomania since I was, let's see, the last I could remember was when I was 10. But I didn't pick at my face. I picked at my arms. Just, I think one day I just saw this little flap of skin, and I was in 5th grade. I saw this little flap of skin and I pulled it off. But I realized that it left another flap of skin, so I peeled that off. And I kept peeling the first couple layers of my skin off of my arms, both of them. And so I ended up having these raw, fleshy patches on both of my arms. And my teachers would ask me, what's going on? Why do you do that? And I'm like, I just gotta, all the skin, it's there, and I just gotta get it off, this shouldn't be here. And, at the time I was living with my grandmother, this was one of the times I was living with my grandmother, and they asked her about it, and she's like, I have no idea. So, oopsie daisy. And I remember when I was 10, I was having a lot of stresses, partially due to bullying, partially due to the fact that I tried homeschooling to avoid the bullying, and that didn't work because, I don't know, I just didn't like the way my grandma attempted to teach me. I don't know, maybe I just, a kid not wanting to be told what to do, I don't know. All I knew is that I was afraid of kids because the year prior to that was when good old Seth was choking me and I had to bite him in order to not die. So I wanted to get away from that. I was bullied in 5th grade, but thankfully, I was not the only introvert in my class. I made a very good friend. We were the only 2 kids who openly liked Harry Potter, and we saw the first movie together, and that's how our friendship started. And we were really good friends until they had to move away. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so sad. And back when I had MySpace, she added me on MySpace, but we never really chatted because it was later in the MySpace days, and we're getting to close to adulthood, and ain't got time for that. So we lost touch. But apparently she got really tall, and she was already tall to begin with. But the bullying regardless was still stressful, and the fact that Erin had been evicted from wherever she was living in Idaho, where I was supposed to go back. I was never supposed to live in California. I visited my grandmother every summer. So she got evicted while I was over there. And so now I had to live in this hot-ass state. I mean, granted, even though I hate this state, I hate it with a burning passion, it was helpful that I was here because otherwise I would either still be with Erin up to 18 or older, depending on how bad she fucked me up, or I'd be dead. So, that's the thing that I have to keep telling myself. If I wasn't, forced to live here, then, I'd be in a really bad place, worse place than I am. I'm in a good place right now, and that's saying something. But still, as a kid, I didn't want to be forced to live in a state that I didn't like, that the only reason I came here was to see, certain friends and my grandmother. But You know, I did. And then I was forced into therapy because of my complaints about her abusing me and how, you know, no one believes the child. So, you know, even after it was proven that she was doing that to me and custody got taken away from her, I was in therapy because of that, because of trauma. And I didn't want to be in therapy because none of it was working. And, you know, the therapists didn't know what they were doing. One of the therapists diagnosed me with dissociative personality disorder, and AKA multiple personality disorder. I do not have multiple personality disorder. That's, you know, I am me and I'm aware that I'm me. I may act like a different person when, you know, I'm off my meds, but that's not the same. People who actually have multiple personality disorder know what it's really like and would probably scoff in that therapist's face. I honestly didn't know she diagnosed me with that until I saw recently, as in maybe half a year ago. I don't know. I can't tell time. I had to ask my grandma for any papers from previous therapists. And I saw that little note and I said, dissociative personality disorder? I was a teenager! Hello? Hormonal, okay? At least, you know, she stuck with the manic depression thing that I was, you know, diagnosed with, what, 1 or 2 years prior to that? No, I stayed with her until I was 18 and I could finally quit. So, when did I start going to her? I had so many therapists. I kept saying, I don't like this one, because I didn't like any of them. I felt like they were intruding on me, whatever. But I might have started seeing her. I saw her for a few years, I think. So, I don't know. It's just stupid. I'm like, dude, have you ever heard of hormones? Do you remember what it was like being a teenager? Well, maybe you don't understand how I feel because you're mentally healthy. I mean, do you have to be mentally healthy to be a therapist? I assume so. I don't know. I wanted to quit. So bad, and I asked her, you know, when am I allowed to quit? And she said, technically, when you turn 18, you can, you know, quit all you want. And she's like, but I recommend that, you know, you stick with therapy. And I was like, no. As soon as I turn 18, the very second I turn 18, I'm never, ever, ever coming back. So, and I didn't. And my grandmother was like, are you sure? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure. See, it looks thicker there, but I have a bad habit of, like, looking at different angles, and my eyes are so used to working with 2D objects that when I'm working with a 3D object, it's difficult, especially on a 2D screen, it's difficult for me to work my eyes. Yes. That is what is happening. I'm not sure what the point of any of what I just said was. But at least, you know, I don't know. I need to not work on the tail anymore. It's fine. I mean, does it look okay from here? I think it looks fine. It's not obviously misshapen. What happens if I soften it? Smoothen it, sorry. Oh, that's the wrong one. Does it hurt the seam? Yes, it does. Okay, never mind. It looks fine the way it is. I'm just gonna have to make the texture. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Your feet has no bottom texture, English. So, now I'm going to work on the ears. Hang on, I need water. Ugh, I get thirsty. so much. Like, ridiculously thirsty. Okay, so the thing with rat ears, we don't want, cartoonish, they could look, a little more like hamster ears. In reality, they are a little bigger in proportion to the head, and they're a little longer, but rodent ears in general will look pretty similar. For this, to make it still look cute, for one, I'm going to have to make it bigger. I'm thinking... I wish there was a mod so I could take away the ears. I also wish there was a mod to take away the nose and have it just smooth, because Zim has a nose and it bugs the crap out of me. He also has ears, so when he doesn't have his wig on, I'm just like, oh my god. Zim! Why you know? Okay, I'm actually going to come up here and work on it from up here. I want to hide the back, but I probably shouldn't if I want to work on the insides. Okay. So I think this is what I'm gonna do. I always lose my train of thought. I think there was something I was going to say, and there was a purpose for whatever that was. Whatever I just said just then, because I don't remember. If I could turn back time. Anyway. I need to look at it solid. I think that's really my problem, is that I just need to look at it solid. I don't like what that's doing right there, but that's okay. This is why we're fixing it. That's why we're doing this. I see. I should have selected that, but I didn't. I don't know why I didn't do that. Let's go ahead and make it even with these so that I can indeed fix it. Should it be like this? Or should it... No. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think I ever do. I get confused when I don't know what I'm doing. It sucks. Especially when I just want it to be perfect! Why can't everything be perfect? Just be perfect. I mean, perfection can be a very bad thing. And, technically the idea of perfection is not favorable. It's very problematic, not somewhat problematic. It is problematic, because if something is perfect, it has no room to improve. There's no more challenge. There's no imagination or creativity in it. But when you're a perfectionist and you're an artist, you want it to be perfect. And when you're insecure, you want yourself to be perfect. But you can never achieve that perfection. And you never will achieve that perfection. And you'll hiccup. Because that has everything to do with everything. Okay. I made, some time ago, some creatures called Lotrids, which are made to be completely perfect beings. They were based on a dream I had. And, no, I want this to stay right here. And there was a reason why I made them perfect. It was, I could explain it, but I wrote it all down. It basically, in short, was supposed to mess with, being God, basically. When you create something, you're God of it. And it, creating something that's perfect creates a paradox. So, it's the God paradox. If you create something's perfect and you're supposed to be perfect, then does that mean whatever you made that's perfect can overthrow you now? Does that mean that it can destroy you, And can you make anything more perfect than that thing that can destroy the perfect thing? And then is that more perfect than you? Will it destroy you? And pff, robot head explodes. So, and because of the fact that imperfection is unfavorable, so are the characters. And it's not just the idea of the characters that were inspired by my dream, it was the characters and their activities. So I've been wanting to make a couple of them that I described in The Sims. This needs to move. But not at the moment. Okay, there's one thing. I think I know what I should do. Right now, I should twist it like this so that I can scale it a little like this. Make it thinner, a little less deep. Thinner! Anyway, I don't expect any youngins to get that reference, but what you gonna do? Too many youngins on the YouTube. I remember when the YouTube wasn't anything. I was 15 when YouTube was quote-unquote invented, also known as made. And it was like revolutionary. Then again, everything that I was alive for its invention was revolutionary. So it's like, I don't know, it's crazy. And I'm sure, people who were around when more, I'm not going to say more better, but I'm going to take more out of the sentence and I'm going to say better. When better things were invented, like the television, the computer itself, the telephone, those were probably way more exciting for the people who lived then. I need to cut that. I need to cut this. It's bugging me because it's not doing anything. Of course you did that. Of course you did that. Why wouldn't you do that? So, I can't say I've seen super revolutionary things invented in my time, but, we got some things. We got things. Some cool things. I wasn't alive when floppy disks were invented, but I was alive during the use of the, last, format of the floppy disk. The smallest one. And then there were cassette tapes. Oh, cassette tapes. How you were always eaten by my tape player for reasons unknown to the child that was I. And had to go in and, take the tape and manually try to straighten the tape out the tape that's actually inside the cassette tape. Tape. And get it back into the thing that holds it. And for no reason. For it's just like, I'm gonna decide to eat your tape! Nom 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 nom.
This is bullcrap!
So I'm gonna put this a little bit back where it... Okay. I need to cut this too. I found out that cutting things isn't as easy as create, edge, subdivide. You actually need to use a tool. Which, you know, I've said this before, I used to work with 3ds Max, so going from that to this, it was confusing because 3ds Max is so much more simple. Sometimes it's hard for me to go from Blender to Photoshop because I try to move the screen by using the my mouse wheel. And guess what? I can't do that because that's not how Photoshop works. Alright, so that should make it easier to shape this thing. I'm feeling like I should put more cuts in here, especially right there. Anyway, there's a reason I did that. What was the reason? I think it was this. Oh, it was this. I wanted to give this more shape. Yes. So this comes back out a little bit. Right? I said deselect? Right. Okay. Problem. The problem is that I am missing that entire part of the ear. But then again, rat ears aren't like that, so if I rotate it, it won't be so bad. Okay, moving on. I think I am going to hide some of these vertices. Just these, so that I can work on the depth of the inside of the ear without accidentally selecting the back of the ear. I should probably click save. You never know when the power's gonna go out. Oh my god, I don't remember what I was working on, but I think the power went out one time and I think I was working on something major and I hadn't saved at all because I was so into it. I get so into it that I forget to save sometimes. And the power just went out for literally a second. I was like, no! I did start laughing though. I wasn't crying or anything. Mike was afraid that I would have started crying, but I was laughing because it was just such bullshit. And, you know, when I'm stable, I can laugh at things like that. You know, it would have upset me if I hadn't been on my medication. I would have sobbed forever. So, but it was terrible. Let's see. Make a cut here. And here. And anywhere else? Not that I can think of. Okay. So here's one of the main problems. Get in there! You are supposed to be the inside of the ear. You need to be inside. You have to go inside. I still can't believe that some people think that I'm lying about remembering Candle Cove when I made a video explaining why I thought I remembered it. And I, you know, read the email from the creator that he sent me. That needs to be cut. and I read interviews, and there should be no question. And yet, people think because everybody lies, right? Everybody who ever says anything is a liar, right? People still think that I'm lying about it. I'm like, I wasn't lying, I was wrong. Learn the difference. I'm not gonna say retard. God damn the 90s. 90s and before. I grew up with the habit of saying retarded in order to mean stupid. Apparently the word that has replaced that is autistic. And it's just as stupid as it was when we said retarded. So, and I'm kind of still in the habit of doing that, unfortunately. So I'll be all like, oh my god, that's retarded. But I didn't actually mean, try to offend anybody who's actually mentally retarded, which doesn't mean stupid. It means you are slow at learning. To retard means to slow down, and it actually has a symbol in music. I don't remember what it looks like. But just because you have a mental handicap that makes you slow at learning doesn't mean you're stupid. Especially since stupidity is lacking common sense and proper judgment, meaning even intelligent people can be stupid. Extremely stupid. I know intelligent people who are extremely stupid. I'm not going to name names or anything. There's problems here. There's problems here. And I think it just stems from this thing. And technically we've been politically incorrect for, a long time about a lot of things, like lame. Lame means crippled. But when we say it, we aren't trying to diss people who are crippled, who have a broken leg or have no leg at all, etc. It's not what we mean. But that's how it is. It's just, it's not cool. And there's really no excuse for it, but, society in general has taught us a lot of messed up things. One of the ones that I will complain about the most being racism. And the second one, sexism. The third one, homophobia. I'm feeling like somebody's trying to sell me something! Oh. I know what I should do. I know exactly what I should do. Okay, that is on that vertex, right? Yeah. I'm never gonna get to play my game. I still need to do a long-ass rant about racism. Especially with our goddamn racist president. At this point, I'm sitting here like anybody who supports Trump is a racist bastard. Or a white supremacist. Maybe I shouldn't have merged that one. I don't know, let's take a look. I wanted it to look thin. Well, let's see. These can come out a little more. And I know it's probably gonna look a tiny bit funky when I unhide the rest of the ear, but I can fix it. Yeah, this is one vertex. Problem. Me find problem. Me fix. It just needs to be out a little more. And these could actually probably be in a little more. Not merge them, but be a little less skin showing on the rim. Since I'm doing this from an angle, it's probably not. Whatever, I don't care. I should have been doing it from the front. I don't think it really matters, though, since I was working with the X and Z axis, axes? Axi? What's the plural of axis? Oh man. There's a College Humor video that I think it's called Alex Jones' head finally exploded, and they spelled Jones JONES', and I'm not really one of those to be like a grammar Nazi, but it drove me nuts because you don't put .S after a name or after a word or name that ends with an S. I thought that was common knowledge. And it was driving me nuts, and I'm like, I'm not going to go to the video and comment about how there's a grammatical mistake in the title. I am not going to do that because I will seem like an asshole. I am going to keep it to myself. That's what I'm doing. It doesn't bug me. And no, I'm not going to go and, make a fuss about it. But still, it's just like, it's things like these that just prove that even native English speakers cannot speak English. And I'm not saying I have perfect grammar. I will never say that. There are plenty of things I have to look up to know the difference between certain words, like phase and phase, lie, liar, lane, laid, lie again. Lie and its past tense and past participles are confusing as schniz. But I'm not perfect, but and not knowing these things don't mean anything about your intelligence. I mean, I'm sure they probably just didn't care. I mean, they're obviously intelligent people, so that's not what I'm saying. It's the fact that there are so many people who rag on others for not using proper grammar. When it comes to writing a comment, I really could care less, because this isn't an essay. This is conversation, right? It's just conversation. And you don't watch how you speak in conversation, We can say, I want this one, or I want these ones. I think this one is correct. These ones is not correct. But do we care? Do we really care? I mean, why care?
Huh? I never seen a sort of knife right there. Bonk.
Bonk. So, I don't know. I think on the internet, it's most important to leave it alone when you don't know who you're speaking to, who has made the grammatical mistake, because they could be, it could be many reasons. It could be they're just bad at spelling, or, maybe English wasn't their best subject in school, or maybe English is their second language. And English is a very hard language to learn for people who don't already speak it, and even with people who already speak it. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, should I be an asshole, or should I take, you know, should I sit here, think about the consequences of my actions, and decide to not be a dickhead and possibly insult somebody that has a perfectly good reason for making that mistake? And that's where real intelligence comes from. That's where the lack of stupidity is, when you have the common sense to say, that's not right, I shouldn't do this, the consequences would be this. So, and when you don't care about the consequences, when you've thought about the consequences but you don't care about them, that usually means you're a psychopath. Boing, 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 boing. Okay. Now, I can't tell how evenly distributed these are, but I'm going to put them in, make them bigger, bring them down, rotate it, rotate it. Maybe move it back over here. And let's see. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of things with the actual ear that I have to fix because of that. But I think the inside looks pretty decent. I think the outside needs to be pulled a little more. Well, this is where we will do the rest of the stuff, do the rest. The rest of the stuff needs to be done. The stuff, it's the rest that needs to be done and fixed. Do. We need more vertices. I need a vertex there. So it's like, it's gonna be all like too much cutting, but you don't understand. I need to take this flat piece, this face, and I need it to not be flat. I need the dimensions so we can pull it. So, okay, it could be a little more round, okay? Whenever I complain about something, don't think that it means that I think that I'm perfect. I think that's a big misconception that a lot of people have. Like when I complain about stupid people, I know I'm not a genius. I have never claimed to be a genius. I am of slightly above average intelligence. But I am smarter than a lot of people. There are a lot of people smarter than a lot of people, and there are a lot of people smarter than me. There are a lot of people smarter than you. There are a lot of people smarter than a lot of people. But there's also really, 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 really stupid ass people. You know, just because somebody complains about something doesn't mean that they are being high and mighty and trying to say, look at me, I'm better than everybody. Though I think some of the people who say that, who accuse people of saying those exact things, accusing people of thinking that, they are doing it on purpose. They know very well that you don't think that, and the only reason why they do it is to cause trouble. Bah! Boramu! Boramu! It just sucks in this society because you can't seem to express yourself, even if it's not harming anybody. Like, if your intent is to harm and, you're just saying, "Oh, I'm just expressing myself," that's different. That's stupid. But, if you say, "I like a certain thing, I like to dress a certain way," and somebody goes, starts accusing you of, wanting attention and blah, 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 and that's something that's not true, it's like, why does it matter to you? Like, it's not hurting you. What's the problem? The problem is that humans need destruction. They need to cause problems, they need to cause chaos. I feel like this should have been connected to this the entire time. Why didn't it? I don't know. I mean, that's gonna drive me crazy. And I really wish that humans didn't crave destruction. I mean, I can't say that I don't crave destruction. I definitely do. Why do you think I delve into the horror genre? And, more than once I've said I wish there was just a room of glass stuff that I could just kick and break and throw without any consequences. See, that's my problem, is I have a lot of pent-up aggression because anything I do will have negative consequences on my life or other people's lives. And that's with a lot of us, with a lot of us who know better than to not take our anger out on other people, who do definitely have the urge to be violent because it's in our nature. But unfortunately, we can't do that. And more unfortunately, a lot of people deal with that by just targeting people who don't deserve it. Ugh. I know there are way too many polygons on this, but I need to move that. What about this? Okay, if I move both of those inward. Hey guys, I don't blame you if you're actually just listening to this and not watching this. Alright? I don't blame you. But if you're actually interested in what's happening on screen, then more power to you. Right now I'm just making sure that there aren't like mounds that make it look all spiky. This is kind of spiky. I mean, there's really not much that I can do about the actual spikiness of the angles. Even when after I smoothed it, it really didn't help much. So, I mean, I could cut all the way around it and make vertices on the inside to make it appear rounder, but I really don't want to do that right now. I'm thinking, oopsie doopsie, moving this out, moving this out. I just need it to not look like the hamster ears. and the texture is going to be different, as in there's not as much, like, the back of the ears aren't like furry. I mean, I'm not trying to make it super realistic, but you know, just a little bit. Mainly it's the tail that shows the difference. Oh my god, that really hurt. Okay, so I'm going to move this like this, and scale it like that, and now I am going to put it on the head, wherever it needs to be, and then make changes depending on the relation of the head. I need to remind myself of what the hamster ears look like. I think I'm gonna live stream tomorrow. That's a maybe. So. Oh, come on. Thank you. Alright, so these are forward. Hamster ears tend to be more forward when they are alert. I don't think rat ears should be that far back, but I do think they should be back a little bit. I think they should be more upward. Lower on the head, maybe. Let's see it from the right. And make them just a little more forward. Put them more above the ear. You know what? No. Why can't I just ever not be tired? I would love to just not be tired. Okay, so if we take this and we actually make them more vertical, then that might help us a little bit. So then I can put it down here, but they still need to be long. And I can make them a little fatter. Looks cute. They could use a little more front though. It could be fatter. And a little more like that. Like that. And down. Now are all of the vertices hidden? Almost. Okay. As for this part, I am going to need to move it, just so that more of the ear is visible. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work out. fact, I should probably just move the entire goddamn thing. I'll leave that there. Okay. And contrary to what I did before, I'm actually going to make this smaller again. Mr. Vertis? What are you doing way back there? Excuse me? What are you doing? Sheesh. Nyeh. I mean, I know I wanted it more inside. These could be moved inside. I think certain things need to be sacrificed. Let's take a look. I think that needs to be more inside too. So, you. There we go. And, I mean, I can't really see that being much of a problem, but I am going to take these and move them a little bit just to give it a little bit of shape. Mumble, 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 mumble. You totally can hear what I'm saying. Ah, hello. Okay, so either this goes in or that comes out. A little bit of both, I guess. God. Sometimes when I Twitch, I'll double click, and that has caused me so many problems. Okay, that should sort of fix that issue. What's going on right there? Still, you! Stop it! Okay. That's bugging me, and I probably will never see it because of the hair. But it's... Hey! Maybe I'm going about that the wrong way. Maybe it needs to. Good enough, good enough. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. I don't care, I really don't. I meant to choose right. I'm thinking maybe it should be rotated a little bit like that. Just like this, except everybody just like this, a la-di-da-di. Okay. I'm gonna save that. And now, it is time for the array! And normals, flip them. Front? Yeah, we're already up front. Okay, here's the tricky part. There's an easier way to make it so they're like on the exact same place, only mirrored. Let me know. I think that's pretty close though. Jackal! It's a jackal! Is it a jackal? It's a jackal! It'll look better in game. I gotta look at it with the tail. I think maybe they could be a little smaller. That's why. Reitanna, since we can't read your mind, we don't know why you just said that's why. Don't worry about it. Okay, I think that's close enough. I think it should be further back on the head, though. I don't know why I did that. So is like the rig's head misshapen or something? Because if it's that close, then the same vertices should be submerged, right? Yeah, no, see, it's not the same. Is that rat-tastic? I'm a rat. This person is a half-rat. Rat, 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 rat. Here I am, ratting around. I'm a rat. I think the ears should still be a little forward. Just a little more aligned with the human ear. Because it looks weird. Front. Okay. I need to stop trying to make it perfect. Oh, crap-a-doodle. How did that happen? No wonder. I mirrored you. I mirrored you perfectly. How did you do that? Ugh. Okay. Seriously? Like for serious. I need my ruler. Okay. From point to here, 7.2 centimeters, and from here to here, 7.3 centimeters. Okay. That means you're too close. Even though you look further away. Did I measure it wrong? Okay. Ow. From 0 to the middle. Oh, 7.3. Okay. To the middle. Right there. Nope, no, they're right. Good. I have a problem with this side always looking like it's further away from this side. I don't know if I'm the only one who has that problem, but let's take a look at the front. I'm a rat. I do rat things. I have a rat tail, I have rat ears. Go away, cursor. This is me being a half rat. Hat. Hat? Half rat. Rat, 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 rat. Ratty, ratty, rat. Hamster. I'm a hamster. Half hamster. Hamster, hamster, hamster. Rat. Hamster. Rat. Hamster, rat. The rat ears need to be bigger. Longer, more like. Maybe a little wider. Hamster, rat. Okay. Yeah, I think you could pretty much tell the difference, and when I redo the textures, it'll definitely be noticeable. Okay, last but not least. Holy Moses. Alright. Save you. I almost forgot to do one important thing! Oh, good. Okay, since I already assigned the weights to the hamster ears that I was editing from. Okay, good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. Okay, so reopen rat ears. I have a bad back. I am going to import the texture of the hamster ears because that's going to be my base anyway. Because the UVs are assigned to it. Hooray! Hooray for people accomplishing stuff. Okay, so yeah. Obviously, I need to redo the tail. But the ears look pretty damn good. Alright, so save. I'm gonna continue working on this, and I'll upload this video while I do. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow, and I should have this done by tomorrow, so I'll be able to show you what it looks like in-game and stuff. Okay, so make sure to subscribe, spread the word of awesome, become a Reitannite, and click the little bell. And I shall see you later, alligators and crocodiles. Goodbye!